In this video, we will discuss what is switch statements. It is an alternative to if-else-if statement. Okay, one of the alternative to if-else-if statements. Okay, and the format for switch statement is something like this: switch, where you have the expression. Okay, so you have the expression here, and you have many cases. In this case, it's only one. In this case, it is only provided one, but you can copy and you can duplicate this thing, this block, to create many cases. And you're going to have many constant here and statements. Okay, and there is a break, and there is a default. Okay, so what it does is that expression must be an integer. This expression must be an integer. Okay, or something that will evaluate to an integer value. Okay, or something that evaluate to an integer value. And the constant here, all these constant here, these constants here, must be constant integer expressions or literals. Okay, and it must be unique. Okay, let's say you have many cases here, you put many cases here. The constant value here must be unique. It must be different for different cases, okay, and the default is optional. Default here, you can remove it, or you can just leave it like this. Just in the case of if-else-if statement, where you have the else following the many if-else-if statement, and then you have the else at the end of the if-else-if statement. So this one is optional. You can remove it, or normally you can just put it. Okay, so when the expression, so how does it work? When the expression is evaluated, okay, when the expression is evaluated, the value of expression is compared. Okay, so the value that is evaluated here, the value will be compared to all the cases that you have here. Okay, if the value match the constant here, okay, the value of the expression here matches the constant here, then it will evaluate the statement, that particular statement for that particular case. Okay, where the constant matches. Okay, so example, if there is no if there is no constant that match the expression that has been evaluated, okay, then it will go to the default switch, okay, the default one, and execute some of the statements that you can put here. Okay, you can put some statement in here as well. Okay, so let's give some example. Okay, so for example, you have an integer input. Okay, and then you ask and enter a number 1 to 5, example, and input to input, and the expression here, switch input. So you want to evaluate what is input here, and the case is, if it is 1, you message something, say cout, you select 1. Okay, and you can continue. You can have many in this particular statement. It has only one statement. You can put many statements in one case. Okay, in this case I have only one. Okay, now you can copy this thing and put it for the put it for a second case. Let's say case number 2, and you say 2. Okay, and case, you can even put case case let's say 3, 4 and 5. You can also do like this. You select 3, 4, 5. Okay, and the default one, you put out something, say wrong input. Okay, let's try and run the program. As you can see here, okay, 3, 4 and 5. No, not like this. It's actually case 3, case 4, case 5. Okay, so you can run this code and as you can see here, it's going to ask for input. Okay, it's going to ask for input. If I put 1, it will produce you select 1. So when it will prompt the enter a number 1 to 5. It will be input to here, and this one will be evaluated. Okay, and it will match it against all the cases here. In this case, I put number 1, so it is this one, and it's going to do this thing. Okay, and then if I run this again, if I select number 2, let's say I select number 2, it will say number 2, you select 2. Okay, so in this case, it will skip this one. And if I run again, let's say I put number 4, so what happen if I put number 4? So because it matches this one, so it will go to this. Okay, so what happened here is you see, so what is the problem here? Here there is a mention of wrong input. So this is where break is important here. Okay, break is important here. Now when you select 1, just now when you select 1, it will break. Okay, it will go to this break statement and exit the switch. So you only see this message. Okay, you only see this message. You select 1. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I put 1, and then it just mention you select 1. Because of the break statement, it exit the switch. Okay, similarly, when I put number 2, you select 2, it breaks and exit. But when I select number 3, 4, 5, for example, okay, in this case, I forgot to put break. So what happened is that it will continue after it has evaluated this. Okay, let's try run again. Okay, I put number 3, for example. Okay, because 3 is here, so it will go to, because there is no statement, it will go to here, it will go to here, and it will go to here. Okay, it will go to here, and it will execute this statement, but there is no break. When there is no break, it will continue to the rest of this. That's why you see the output as wrong input here. So what you need to do is you need to put break here. Okay, so break is to exit the switch statement. Now let's say you remove the break for all of this. There is no break. So what happened? So whenever you select, so I run the code again. So whenever you select 1, it will say, because it matches number 1, it will output you select 1 and continue with this one, you select 2 and you continue with this one and this one, because there is no break. And similarly, when you put 2, okay, 2, so because it doesn't match this one, so it will skip this and it goes to this case number 2. Okay, and it will output, you select number 2 because there is no break. It will continue to the rest of this. Okay, so that's why it is important to have the break statement.